I was so excited that Michael's here that I actually forgot to give the house rules. So
There are no rules.
there's no rules. Just turn off your flashes on your phone, turn them to vibrate so nothing goes off in the middle of the show, and then we have the PNC live studio for all the hashtag and the photos and the videos you guys are going to use tonight, and then 98.7 The Bull. Just have a great time. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Buddy, first of all, I want to thank your grandfather, Amos, for bringing you to country music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, me too, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we're lucky to have you in country music with a voice like that.
Man,
It's incredible.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. My grandfather, for anybody who don't know, my grandfather Amos was big. Well, the biggest, main reason I got into it on my whole family. He served in the Army, and I don't know if he played beforehand or not, but just my family just loved country music. I was always around and stuff, and where I grew up was where my family still lives. Nothing has changed in a long time. It's the same land, same every. So we all grew up very close together, and so when he got out of the Army, he met my grandmother, and then my grandma was one of 6 or 7, and then my grandfather was one of 6 or 7, and or 5, 6, something like that. Anyway, he was a great lead guitar player, and so all of their brothers and sisters were all very close. And then obviously they had all, they started having children.
Sure.
And so my grandpa pretty much like created the redneck Partridge family in Florida. They just put guitars in everybody's hands. And my dad and my family had a band, and my dad was lead singer. My uncle played bass. Two or three of my other cousins were in it. My other cousin played drums, and my grandfather played guitar. But it was all because of him. You know what I mean? Like he would and now I got a cousin that's in Christian music. I got another cousin in Texas, doing her thing, and it's all, my grandpa started the whole thing. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You have sisters. You have a full sister and 2 half-sisters.
2 half-sisters.
Are they into music as well?
No. We always joke. I think my grandpa just did process of elimination. You know what I mean? He was like, Ryan came about. He's like, no, that's not working. Christina came, and I was the first grandson at the time, and then now there's more. But I was the first one, so whenever I came about, I think my grandpa was like, you.
Yeah.
Come here. Yeah.
You got that voice. I want you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And actually, a funny story that a lot of people don't know, but so when I was born, my dad was saying, he told me the story a long time ago, that the nursery where they, where people come in, you can look through the glass like at the babies. Well, my dad said, you were born, they take you back. He goes, me and your grandfather walk outside. I think my grandpa smoked cigarettes at the time, so walk outside to smoke whatever, and he goes, they're coming back. He goes, and there is a sound coming from a child that sounds like this kid is dying, right? He goes, and I literally, my dad goes, he goes, I look at my dad and go, I hope to God that's not Michael.
Mine.
Yeah, it was.
It was
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my grandpa, they said, maybe we've been trying everything, dude. We can't shut this kid up. And my grandpa just put the radio on, and it was to a country station in Orlando. I'm from Central Florida, and I shut right up, apparently.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it's kind of just always been there, I guess.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
Yep.
I love it.
And I'm really not that good at anything else.
That's awesome. Well, it's funny because, like I was saying, it's been harder to get Michael here than it is to get President Biden on the phone. Seems like. We've been trying to get Michael here for like 11 years now, and it finally came to fruition. We started working on this book when, like, March or April. Mm-hmm. It's been forever. So I'm so grateful that you're here.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Guys,
yeah,
man.
It's been amazing to run. I get to see Michael every year at CRS, which is called Country Radio Seminar, and we usually spend a week in Nashville, and we get to do all these fun things. And we get a chance to like hang out for a little bit. We go do seminars, and then they'll come in and perform for like a special show like this for programmers around the country. So that's the only time we ever get to see each other. For the last 4 years, we get to see each other for like 5 minutes. Like, hey, bro, at the hockey game, I'll see you tonight. And that's been about it. So the last time I saw you, though, was on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. An amazing night.
Thank you, man.
How many shows have you done at the Opry now?
I think we're at 76, I think I've done.
Wow.
76, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
When you, at this point now, you've done so many. When you step into that circle, do you still get a gut feeling like, oh my God, here we go? Don't forget the lyrics.
Yeah. It's weird for me that I still walk in the backstage. I'm like, we're walking through, and they have like the artist entrance in the back, and it's I'm sure everybody's seen it, but it's a pretty legendary spot. You're walking through. I'm like, this is wild, man. Like every time. So like my grandfather, like growing up, like we would watch, Minnie Pearl, String Bean, Roy Acuff, all these guys, and that's what. So the music I grew up on was like my grandfather's country music, and that's what I loved. And so, I grew up watching him. So it was, we idolized the Opry. We knew he taught me the importance of this place. He was like every genre has like that place. You know what I mean? Whether no matter what, it's like okay, if I the Apollo, you know what I mean? Those type of things where you're like okay, that's that's how you. I don't know if you ever know you made it, but if you play there, you're you're on the right track.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the Opry's always just been that.
Is there anybody that you've been touring for a long time, and mostly like I said, it's been a long time since you've been back here. In 2024, we got some great shows lined up. Is there anybody that you want to go on tour with that you're like, this is gonna fit for me perfectly? Like, I see you and Chris Stapleton, your crowds meshing together.
Yeah,
I think like Nickelback and Brantley Gilbert this summer was awesome.
Yeah, I went to that show in Nashville. Brantley's one of my great buddies, and we wrote a bunch of songs, and so he was playing a couple of them that we wrote there, and I was like, I saw him, I was like, buddy, this is the most obvious pick of a tour I've ever seen in my life.
Right. I agree, 100%. It was like Jelly Roll with Eric Church, but those two talked it out first because they were like, Jelly knew that Eric Church's fans were like serious choir fans.
Oh yeah.
And then Eric was like, well, I can grab some of those Jelly fans.
Yeah,
It'd be
absolutely,
cool. So they
man.
merged. Who would you like to merge with?
Man, I would love to tour with Dirks. That's
Bro.
I've always, yeah. He's all. I've never toured with him. I've only really met him or talked to him a few times, honestly. But he's like the nicest dude, and everybody that's ever toured with him is like, dude, he's great. And I just always been a big fan of his. I used to cover What Was I Thinking?
Right.
Back in the day and all those songs, and I think our shows would be great together, and I've just always been a big fan of his.
Yeah.
And he bought Lanco Sea-Doos afterwards, so that was kind of an initiative.
Yeah,
too.
you're like, I'll take a new truck or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I'll just slide it under his bus door.
Yeah, right,
in a
exactly.
Tour, yeah.
Well, I'm sure somebody probably is watching this somewhere. By the way, this show is all for the kids at St. Jude tonight, so let's give a big round of applause for all the kids at St. Jude. Michael is a huge proponent for St. Jude. Every year you seem to show up in the pictures, and you got all the tattoos going, and everyone's like, "Who is that sexy man?" That's funny. How many tattoos do you have?
Right now, just the ones on my arms, but I'm about to finish this out at the end of the year. And then, so I just got these. I got a penny for my grandma. Her nickname was Penny, so I got a penny for her. Here's what I did wrong, though. We stay on tour quite a bit, and I didn't have time to get the tattoo, so I called that tattoo artist. I said, "Would you come on the road?" He goes, "Yeah." So we turned a hotel room into a tattoo studio. My band goes sound checks. I get tattooed on for 3.5 hours, right? Here's the negative. If you play guitar and you're about to do a show, put the tattoo off to the next day, because when I got through playing, it looked like my arm was broke, man. It was so swollen.
Oh.
But it healed all right.
Yeah, it's like when I got this one in Nashville. Yeah. Like I was walking around CRS, and everyone was like, "Danny, your arm's bleeding." I'm like, "Nope, it's just a bandage. It's just a bandage. Don't worry, I'm fine."
It's oozing out.
Yeah, it's okay.
What is
it's
wrong
okay.
with that guy? Yeah. I paid tickets for this?
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous. Okay, since it's been so long, we want to get to know you just a little bit. Favorite type of ice cream?
See, I love chocolate. Honestly, any of it. What's the there's one that Ben and Jerry's has that's like has like brownie in it, some peanut butter. Can't remember that. Whatever that one is. What's that called?
Chunky Monkey?
That might be it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
just buy out of emotion with ice cream. You know what I mean?
You're like, "Ooh, this looks good tonight."
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I know this is probably the obvious question: beach or mountains? And it's been so long since you've been here because we have the best of both worlds. We have the beach an hour away, and we have the mountain an hour away. So, what would it be for you?
Man, that's tough for me. So growing up in Florida, obviously, we're at the beach a lot and lakes, and then as I've gotten older, been able to travel, and I hunt a lot. So it's like the time periods of like, to me, there's nothing more peaceful than being in the mountains and the woods. There's nothing better. So I think now probably the woods. But
okay, good. I got a nice little RV spot for you. We'll go out next summer. I got some buddies that own
low rent.
Yeah, I got a nice RV. You can stay in there. I got buddies who got boats. We'll just make it a summer party. What's your guilty pleasures?
Oh man, I'm trying to think what I had.
Tattoos.
Probably tattoos. Yeah. Especially next year when y'all see me, there'll be a lot
addicting.
more. Yeah, they are addicting. Yeah, that's probably it.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Airports.
Oh.
First off, I'm just going to say this.
Jeff over here is like, "Oh boy, you got him started."
None of us drove these people to get the application, go through the drug screening, do the interview. Why are some so rude?
I agree.
And I'm like, man, between airports and Walmart and CVS's, I'm doing all the work. I'm about to have to start taxi. We don't even get a family discount. I'm over here tagging my bag, bringing it over to them. You play a guitar, they look at you, they're like, "What is that?" We're like, "It's a guitar, I promise you." Okay, well, guess what? That one, you got to carry all the way down there. Anyway, thanks for coming to my event. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up a sore
Thanks
subject.
for bringing that up, man. I was having a great day.
I know. Sorry. Well, and then now you talked about like the last 2 weeks you and Jeff spent some time together. The story is incredible. Tell them where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
So,
it started in Nashville at CMAs with us.
Started in Nashville CMAs, which the week is a great week because everybody's in town, so it's a lot of fun. But it's it's a lot of days doing a lot of social gatherings and
Drinking.
Yes, and so that week led into I had a show in Austin, Texas, and then I got asked. I do a lot of stuff. Majority of my family's veterans and or first responders, and so I do a lot of work with the veterans and a lot of work with the military. And so CMT asked, CMT asked us to go play for the Marines and the Air Force in Okinawa, Japan. So in the last 8 days? Day 9, yeah. We went from Austin to Okinawa to Arizona, and then here.
Arizona, Portland. Yeah.
Yep. So it's been yeah, that's right. Yeah. We were joking, we were like, man, we got back and people would be talking to me and in my mind I'd be like, where am I at?
Right.
Like,
what day is
also,
it?
because it was not like a long trip. We traveled as long as we were there.
That's crazy.
We flew to Okinawa. I shot some stuff with CMT, played a show that night. Next day, woke up. We flew Okinawa, Seoul, South Korea, L.A. here. Or L.A., Arizona. Yeah.
It's a 13-hour flight, right,
Yeah.
to Okinawa, you said?
Yeah.
How do you sleep on a plane that long? You can only do so much. I know I have a hard time leaving from here to Nashville. It's 4.5 hours, and I'm like, oh, my God, I can't. I got to get up and move around.
Yeah. Luckily, CMT was very kind and booked us first class.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Way
to go, CMT.
Way to go,
nice
CMT.
job.
Appreciate you
nice
guys.
job.
Thank you. But yeah, it's a because you're like, okay, and then you're like, all right, well, do I drink or do I not?
Right.
On the plane, do I like try to, so say you have a couple drinks, you fall asleep, you watch 2 movies, and you still got like 10 hours left. You're like,
great.
This is never going to end.
Well, listen, I was going to say, you want to go out to dinner later, but I'm going to let you go home and sleep tonight in your bed.
Hey, we go home tomorrow. We got one more house with me and him. It was funny, both of us. I think we're just running on adrenaline the whole time, and then it's like when it's the last day, we both walk downstairs. He's like, dude, me too, man. Like, me too.
When you get home, you just hit the pillow, and you're out for days.
Yeah, the first day when we got back to Arizona that night, my buddy's house we stayed at he's got like blackout curtains in one of his rooms.
Oh,
dude, I thought it was like 11 in the morning. I woke up. It was 2:30 in the afternoon. Then he texts me at 3 and goes, dude, I just woke up. I go, me too, man.
Awesome.
I think I died last night.
That's awesome. Well, Michael, Jeff, thank you guys. Jeff remind you of Zach Brown. Put a hat on him. You can fill in for Zach any day, too.
You ever seen Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? Monday Night Football? Yeah, let's go.
He's got a commercial on. I think I texted you. I was like, dude.
Your doppelganger's on TV.
I mean, it's so much like that I had to do a double check. I'm like, what is Jeff? Jeff don't know nothing about football. What's he talking about?
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr.
Thank you,
Michael
guys.
Ray and Jeff.